Have you ever been so torn apart by what you love, your passions, what you want to do, that you try to do so many things all the time because you love all of it? And as a creative and as an artist who's also trying to either work a side hustle or work a business, that can be so daunting and so it feels like a strangulation on your throat and on your heart. And you're just shiny objects and everywhere is just pulling you apart, especially with all the different new technologies and what to do. And I've had an epiphany. And it's something deep in my heart that I'm 100% sure that this is who I finally am going to be and niche down and be proud to say this is who I am. Because if there's one thing that's, if there's one thing that I've struggled with the most, it's going all in on one thing. And especially because I love so many skills and interests and all that, right? I love to play guitar. I love music. I love business. I do love making money as long as it helps others. And I love cinema. I love all these things, but how can you combine it into one? Or because my goal is I want to squeeze everything out of my soul. Of course, in honor of, for me, for my belief in God. But I want to do it in such a way that honors Him, but also in a way, in that way, it's honorable. And I can commit to one thing. And that's been the hardest thing for me, is committing to one thing. Because, but it was this epiphany to where all the skills I have that can go into directing. Charlie Chaplin is one of my favorite, is my favorite director of all time. And I've always admired that about him. I've always admired that he was a musician. He was he had multi-talented, multi-skills, and he did whatever it takes to make it happen. And he became a director. I've always been scared to call myself a director, to really own it. Because it's like, I'm trying to do so many different things, entrepreneur, musician, all this stuff, right? Production agency owner, whatever, SMMA owner. You've seen this channel. If you look through this channel, it's littered with all types of different things. It's all business related, but business has eons of niches within itself. And then I was like, I need to own becoming who I truly believe I can become. And that is being one of the greatest directors of all time. That is my goal. And if I go the next 30 years and I fail at that, but I try my best, then I would say that it's fine. I'd say that's fine. I'm fine with that. Because if I were to not try it and I were to keep putting it off, or making it like a silo of myself, right? Then I have no one to blame but myself, and I don't think I could live with myself. I don't think I could live with myself being 80 years old and being like, oh man, I was going to direct, but I was going to try, but it was too hard, or nepotism, or, there's permission, or the worst part is that knowing that if I would have given it all, I truly believe I could have done something great. And so that choice is now. And as I'm doing it, it's like everything in my life is starting to unify. And everything looking back is starting to make sense. That's because director is almost a specialized generalist. And I was like, man, but I'm so passionate about these other things. I don't know what to do. Right? And it's also me trying and failing at a lot and succeeding on other things too that makes it so complicated. Especially making a lot more money at one point, right? Then you're like, but that's not really what I want to do. And it really opens your eyes. And so I was like, okay, music is in film. even my sketching of what I used to love to do is sketch. It's in film, it's in storyboarding. And managing people, working with crews, building that community, that's in film. And growing a business, one hell of a percent. Luckily, I've gotten a lot of that, but that's in film. Cold outreach, all that stuff, sales, that is a leg up in film nowadays. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm a director. And even in that, I'm focused on narrative-driven storytelling. And within that, for now, we have to at least focus on commercial direction because that's where we can actually have sustainable cash flow. But after a certain point, even that, I'm pretty sure we're going to have to take even more risk at some point and be like, now or never. You're going to have to do everything you can to do narrative-driven storytelling because that's the only way you can really do it. I mean, if you keep waiting to like unlock with big business or something or have some cash, it's just like, it may never happen, So you're just going to have to make it happen. Just like all the rest of it. Robert Rodriguez, Quentin Tarantino, they didn't have a nickel. But that didn't matter. Right? So that's where it all was like, and it was scary, man. It was scary because there's things I had to let go of and a lot of identity issues. And other things where I'm like, okay, if I'm going to call myself a director and try to be one of the greatest directors of all time, I need to know everything I can about that craft. And that includes the camera as well. That's how I feel. Look at Stanley Kubrick is one of my favorites. Well, why? Because he was a photographer first. And yes, maybe sure you don't need to be, but I want to be. I want to understand that at a deep molecular level. So that's why for me, I'm doing a 7-day challenge to myself and I'm documenting it, right? A 7-day challenge to myself and documenting mostly so that I learn better. And if anyone can learn from my mistakes, as I'm sure I'll make some, then fantastic. If not, it's at least there for me to catalog and be like, look what I did. I did this every single day. So 7 days, I'm going to just kind of do a vlog style kind of rundown. This is what this channel is going to be. This is what the channel is for good, because it's who I am for good. Until I don't want to direct anymore, but I mean, look at Ridley Scott. It's a lifelong thing, and you know what? I would be fucking happy. I would be over the moon if I was, and I will be a great director. One of the greats. I'd be like, that is a life worth lived, man. I'd be like, yeah, 100%. I love it. That's the kind of life I want. And yeah, praise God. So that's what this is. Starting first day 1. That's my first challenge. As you can see, everything's in black and white because I gotta learn how to color grade. I already know some color grading stuff, but I'm gonna clean up my fundamentals, right? Maybe on the business side, I would say I know more than most people, but not on the camera side. I was like, you know what? If you want people to follow you, you need to prove you're worthy to be followed of. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to transform in front of people so they know that I am fully complete who I chose. Because if I see a director and it's like, oh, they don't really know the camera, and I feel like, you know what, they didn't really try. Because even the people who claim they don't know all about it, they know a lot. They know enough, right? I need to know way more. I may be at the point where I know enough, but I don't care. Like, to me, I want ultimate level. And I knew Stanley Kubrick, for example, other guys, Quentin Tarantino even, right? They know. So, gonna start now. This is day 1.